something that's very important for entrepreneurs who are new to business, new to starting up a business in the white label industry is to get a clear picture of what that looks like so that their expectations are not unrealistic. Because something I see happening all the time with entrepreneurs, with people in this industry is they are all psyched up, they're all excited, they're ready to go, and they get their business established, they get their site online, they get all set up and ready to go sell. And then right at that moment when they really need to start working and getting their business to function, they fall to pieces. And they fall to pieces because they had unrealistic, unfounded expectations of how easy it is to build a business. Okay. Not just a business in this industry, but in general. They look at the smallest molehill, a few hang up phone calls, somebody cursed them out, whatever. And they turn around and they blow this molehill into a mountain like Kilimanjaro or something. Okay. Or Mount Everest. And the truth is that if they had a real perspective on things, if they had real expectations from day one, and they set themselves up psychologically and emotionally to go after this prize, to, get their business founded, based upon those solid, lucid expectations, they would have been much more successful because they wouldn't have fallen apart when, a little problem arose. The worst thing, and something I get filled personally with regret, is when you see an entrepreneur and you see somebody that's talented, that's smart, that has their stuff together upstairs, but they have screwed up expectations, and they wind up just quitting, just stopping their business, just not proceeding because they feel that they felt that something was very easy to do that requires modest effort. I scratch my head and I go, what do you mean? It's just modest effort. It's just phone calls. It's just, basic tasks. But they didn't know that they were there. And in their mind, this was going to be just a leisurely walk in the park, a stroll, and they wash out. And you see this all the time. It's a repetitive pattern. If you've been in this business long enough, like I have, you see them come in and go out and come in and go out. Right? It's a revolving door. Not here at Rocket Driver so much, but you see it in general. And I've been in the white label industry before Rocket Driver, so I know the broad truism of this, that, there's lots of people who start up their own little business. They get themselves a website, they get themselves set up with whoever their service provider is, and then they confront the reality of having to sell and having to function in business, and they just flop. So I wanted to do this vid really to give you some key insights. If you're thinking of starting up a business in this industry, always understand, first of all, there is work. There is no free lunch. Not in this industry, not in any industry. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Just doesn't exist out there. There's no, business that you can open that the customers will come running to you. You're going to have to do work. And that work is going to be, in this industry, first of all, you're going to have to learn your product or your service. You're going to have to learn at least the basics of online marketing, but ideally you really take it seriously and study it quite thoroughly. You're going to have to learn time management and business administration skills. You're going to have to be able to, balance a checkbook and manage your finances, at least at your business. You're going to have to be a responsible person. You're likely going to be somebody's boss or some bunch of people's boss. So you're going to have to learn managerial skills, basic managerial skills. None of this stuff should be, scary. These things are things that are done by literally hundreds of thousands of people in just this country every year, every day. But these are things that you have to do. And when it comes to like just the job of telemarketing, getting on the phone and running a business, you can't have the perspective that jobs are beneath you, or that, you can't do that because it's something that requires too much effort. If it requires too much effort, look at other businesses that require 50 times the effort. Okay. People get upset about, doing telemarketing, and they get on the phone and, somebody doesn't want to buy or doesn't want to talk to them. And, they make 3 or 4 or 5 phone calls in a day and think that was hard work. Well, not at all. That's like less than 30 minutes work for a typical telemarketer, right? That's like 5 minutes work or something. They call, and call after call after call. They come automatically on dialers. And there are literally legions of people that did that or do that now, successfully, and because they have the perspective right. Everything is about a ratio game when it comes to most hard tasks. Just about all hard tasks that you're going to encounter when you run a business. First of all, they're all going to be problem solving based, just about all of them. There's the problem, or I should say, they're going to be divided into problem solving tasks and then tasks that are either mundane or repetitive, right? Those are the two really tough things. The problem solving tasks are like the creative tasks that you enjoy doing. Yeah, they're tough, but most people kind of take them on with, good ardor. They actually really try. Those are the kind of tasks like, when you have a business and you're getting people set up and you're going through and you're onboarding salespeople and you're, going through the process with clients of filling out paperwork and all those kind of things, right? Those are your more mundane type of tasks that are repetitive. But the problem solving type of tasks are like, what do I do when I have to get a lead source? Well, you go out and you shop around with different companies and you look around and you find a lead source and you start, going after those leads. Those are the kind of things that most people in general, they find those kind of creative. It's the mundane tasks, the repetitive stuff, right? Getting people set up, going through procedures, telemarketing in particular, where they face a lot of rejection directly, that people tend to crumple and fall apart under the weight of that. And it shouldn't be that way. Nobody should fall apart because people don't want to buy their product, right? I mean, you get on the phone, you got a lead, you're calling them. You should make more than 5 phone calls a day. If you really want to succeed, you would, right? I mean, and I used to ask people in the Rocket Driver program, and I still do, how many phone calls could you make if your mortgage depended on it, right? Not your life. I'm not going to go there, but if your mortgage depended on it, if your car depended on it, on and on and on. And I guarantee it'd be more than 5 a day. 5 a day means, what did you do for the other, 23 and a half hours? So you have to have the perspective knowing that these are things that you're going to have to do. And I think for most entrepreneurs, for most people who are would-be entrepreneurs, if they have a clear picture of what the challenge really is, the repetitive tasks, the tasks that are, going to be one-off problem solves, those kind of functions, they understood, the functions I went over before. If they understand that in totality, it's not that great of a challenge, and it's something that most people can rise to meet. I'm always reminded of a story my father told me. And the story was basically one of, being in the military and having to go on a long march. And he had 2 marches he went on. One march he went on, they didn't tell him how long he'd be marching, right? And it was like 7 hours of constant restlessness and nervousness, he said, the whole march. The other march he went on was 12 hours, but they told him it was going to be 12 hours. And he said, do you know that 12-hour march was much easier than the 7-hour march because I knew going into it, my expectations were set for what I had to do. So my mind was all focused and I was able to do it, right? That's the same kind of thing that you have when it comes to business. If fear of the unknown, it's something that weighs on nerves and really tears people apart. So when it comes to building your business and it comes to, getting yourself established and getting yourself set up, educate yourself, learn, ask questions, get yourself a comprehensive understanding of what it is you're going to have to do. And with that comprehensive understanding, it doesn't take much to get that understanding. That's literally just attending some webinars, studying what's going on, hitting up, the sales department at most companies. You're going to go into it with your eyes open and you're far less likely to fail. Ultimately, though, some of this boils down to you, what your expectations are, because there's another dimension to all this, and that's earnings expectations. There are people, and I'm not saying you're one of them, whoever you are that's viewing this, but there are people who believe that they're going to be able to set up a business and work extremely little and make a ton of money. It's all going to be easy street for them. Okay. Now, they come to white label. We're not saying that to you, right? Rocket Driver's not saying that. Most companies in this business aren't saying that, right? But some people kind of invent their own fictional story, that it was either not said to them, but that is the reality, right? And they're shocked by the fact that they have to work. And it astounds me. I mean, from a trainer's perspective, you sit and you look at it and you're like, what were these people thinking? But it's a truism of this business that there are people like that, right? That come into it, they just want to make money. They don't want to work very hard. If that is your mentality, I would strongly suggest you really reevaluate both Rocket Driver and this industry. You're going to have to work. That doesn't mean you have to really struggle and it's going to be a nightmare. No, there are people who probably work 2 hours a week, okay, as white label resellers running their little business as a side hustle, and maybe they make a sale a week, or maybe they make a sale every 2 weeks, or maybe once one a month, and they're happy with that. And it pays them some extra money and they're cool with that. If that's their business, and that's perfectly fine. Most people that I know like that have the expectation that, hey, this is an extra service. These are some extra things that I can sell to clients I already have. My main job is something else. But you're not going to get away with 2 hours a week of work and pull out tons of money. You can make a very good full-time living selling white label services, digital marketing services and everything. There's a vast amount of money out there, but you have to understand you get out what you put in. This is not a free lunch. Now, and to throw in there, in addition to this, the free lunches that exist out there, the ones that are on the internet that are telling you all that stuff, they're all universally scams. Every single one of them wants your money in their pocket, and the dream is what they feed you in your head. If you want to be deluded and pay somebody for it, they will gladly take your money. But if you want a real opportunity to actually build a business, be it a small part-time business or a full-blown agency, this is a great industry to be in. I firmly believe in the product that we have here at Rocket Driver. Our partner program is something that is absolutely fantastic, and we helped a lot of people, and we've been in this business a long time. And there are others in the industry that have too. But if you come into the industry with the perspective that this is going to be like easy street, free lunch, get rich quick, you are absolutely going to hit hard times fast, and you're going to wash out and wish you never came into the business because you won't make any money. So this is going to conclude this video. And if you like this vid, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will be posting regular videos like this on a periodic basis, basically all the time. So if you have questions, comments, feedback, whatever, feel free to post in the comments below, and check us out at www.rocketdriver.com. Link in the description.